So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. We're here with the losing score. We're gonna ask them some questions today. I'm gonna start. So, what inspired you guys to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
Ooh, that's me and Jack's domain. So me and Jack, I guess we started the band when we were in school together, and I was in like a various really bad like cover bands, and I was like, this really sucks, and I want to play music. Like we were like really into like Foo Fighters and things when we were in school, um, and Jack was like, well, I can play like a few songs by the Beatles, like and he was completely underselling himself. So we like got together in his tiny shed that was like too short for me to stand up in because I'm 6'5", um, and uh, and he just absolutely cracked out Adam's song by Blink-182 that blew me away. Um,
Oh.
he yeah, I used to get him to play it all the time, and he resents me for it. And I guess we just started from there, didn't you?
Oh,
hmm
so much for just a
Awesome.
couple Beatles songs.
Well, I did, but Brody was never really into the Beatles, so
I could crack out "Here Comes the Sun," but that's Beatles guitar.
Oh, that's a banger.
Still
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it is good. It's a good way to start anyway.
Yeah.
we
Mhm.
kind of bonded over Foo Fighters and Blink-182, and then sort of grew together with like the Wonder Years and
On baseball and stuff.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
Ooh, taste.
And
I think the name as well. We really struggled for ages, didn't we? For a long time with the name.
Yeah.
And then I wrote like a lyric with like the words like at first we sort of just went with losing score because I wrote a lyric from a song that I just thought was real trash and I just scrapped it, but I took that from it. And then after a while we kept saying it and we were like, it's missing a the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thus
That's
the
fair.
was born.
The oh my god, wonderful.
Yeah.
That was you'll love to see it. So, congrats on your newest release, Close for the Season. How do you
Thank
feel
you.
about the response to it from the people you've shown it to so far? Since at the time of recording, it's not fully out.
What do you think, guys?
Callum?
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's cool. I sort of had a bit of like a realization moment of seeing all the Twitter notifications and likes and stuff. That's a humble brag. That's not me like, flexed. But it was just like, oh wow, that's a lot of people who are excited just over the first single. So I guess it's a long. I guess like it's hard to explain. It's cool. It's very 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 cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the we've like sent it to a few people just being like want to hear it, who we can kind of trust. And yeah, the response to it's been awesome because it's quite different to our first EP, which is more like a pop punky thing. And with this, I feel like we've dialed it back a bit and gone with more of like an alternative rock thing. We're not like going in that direction by any means. I just think this set of songs have more of that vibe than pop punk and maybe a bit more emo and stuff because I guess we're more inspired by that stuff than we used to be with pop punk. But I think one of the I mean my dad's pretty stoked on the EP.
That's good to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. I think also the coolest reaction was when I sent it to Corey from Prince Daddy
Oh,
and he was real stoked on it, which is awesome because there's people are like a big band for us, so and it was cool. Yeah, it was nice.
That's
that's
wholesome.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey's a
yeah, I'm
great
so
guy.
happy. Mhm.
So can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for that record and how it changed from that first EP?
I think that sort of goes back to like, I think we're being a bit more collaborative on it now because with the first EP, we, Jack was away at uni, and it was just me and Cal in college together, and we just like, I just wrote a bunch of songs, and we weren't really an active band, and I was like, I found a producer, and we're booking studio time, and we're just gonna write the songs, and it has to happen before we get there, otherwise we're gonna look like idiots, and so we just got these songs together and we like practiced them in my old house and we had to make it come together quite quick. Like we sort of approached the new EP in a similar way, me and Jack, where I had some songs written and then we'd go into a practice session and we'd go through the structure of the song and try and like write unique drum parts for each section and stuff. But like it was sort of because of the lack of time of the first EP. like with Cal, I'd be like, okay, these are the chords I'm playing, and we might just have to have something simple. And then when we were in the studio, luckily we had a bit of time, and the producer worked with him to like flesh out some bass lines and stuff. But I think this time, Cal, you definitely added a lot more zest and.
I mean,
stuff
I
to it.
guess with the pandemic and all as well, that made it a lot scarier for not having the time together to collaborate as much as we could have done. But I mean, I think we're all happy with the end product, and it's a bit of a boost in confidence for each of ourselves, having to have recorded it more so at home and all by ourselves.
For sure,
And this
yeah.
time, this time it was a lot more intense, because last time we like recorded over the space of a week. This time it was like I was originally gonna record 6 songs on the drums in 2 days, and it was too much for me, so we cut it down to 5 songs, but it was so intense over the space of 2 days for me. And then these guys just had it real easy with their like weeks of like being able to record the guitar and bass and vocal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I think it really shows like I was really surprised with some of the like creative licks that Callum was coming up with on bass, for instance. And like I don't know, I think all of our sort of influences are showing quite a lot more significantly than the first EP.
I think we've got more of a range
that
of
makes sense.
influences as well now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like part of me thinks that when you look back on when you look at bands now that like sort of start changing their sound, and people are like, oh, why don't they sound like they used to? And they do get more of a variety of sounds. But I feel like we're trying to introduce like the other tastes and things we have, but whilst also sticking to the core of what we want, like the type of music that we strive to make. So hopefully that comes across.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys said this was like recording in quarantine. How did you guys go about that? What was that process like?
So with the drums, it was just it was like right before lockdown. So with me, so much it wasn't as much recording in quarantine, but for these guys, it was like a lot of bedroom recording and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So.
Yeah, here where I'm sat right now, pretty much everything happened on my end apart from the bass. Which is-
It was pretty much the same for me. Just my audio interface and a bass guitar, and then lots of stressful takes trying to record it on my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's difficult when you like mess up so much. It's like that red light thing. When the red light comes on, that's it. It's like you forget how to play.
Yeah.
And also like where I've moved to now, there's like I think you can hear a lot of the other houses around you and stuff like that. And so I spent the whole time like absolutely yelling out vocals and stuff. Just like like every time it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna stop for a while because the neighbors are probably pretty pissed off hearing the same like
Yeah.
like the song being sang for like 2 hours. But we got through it after a while. And what kind of sucked is because of doing it in quarantine, we had a few issues with like the stuff we sent to the producer. Things were like slipping out of time, and there was issues with like the files and stuff. So it was, as much as it was like, oh cool, we got this time to do it by ourselves, it was also really stressful because it was sort of left in our hands, and we're not just leaving a producer to do it all like we did with the first one. So we definitely got a lot more hands on board with this one, which was fun but also stressful.
Yeah. Understandable. So where's your headspace while creating this album then?
I think personally, because of like, because I wrote the songs in like really over like, I don't even know how long, but I know the second single, which is coming out in a couple of weeks, Shoulder to Die On. It's probably the oldest song on the whole EP. I think I wrote it. I mean, I moved house in May last year, and I remember playing it quite a lot before I moved house. So that's like, a good 18 months at least. I think I wrote that. So I don't really know why I was holding on for that so long. The song that got cut though, was literally the first thing I wrote after we finished the first EP. Like I came home and we like sort of spent a whole week, sort of redundant talking about this song, but hopefully it'll come out in the future sometime. But I think that it did set the tone for it a bit. I think because it was like I got real sad and stuff that we weren't together making music and stuff anymore, and then I guess it's like got some darker tones on this new one, like I think all the songs, bar like one or two, are quite sad, but they've also got that upbeat energy to it. Because I think
Mhm.
that's more us. So yeah, I don't know what vibes you guys get from it. Because obviously, I don't know how you
I
feel with
think-
the lyrics and things.
I think it's like you said, it's a lot not darker, but in a sense, I guess there's a lot more themes of sadness and stuff, I suppose. But you know, it's not like, oh, this is sad, very very sad music. It's still it's still got your major
sad.
chords and stuff in there sometimes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. So I think it's I wrote it like across winter and things, and I guess it's that like seasonal period of feeling kind of down and struggling a little bit with that. So I think a lot of it came from that. Like even the first single that's just came out, Dear Sister, is just a bit of a fun song about like feeling like you're missing out because you know you're not watching a movie that's on TV and all that. It's just a stupid song. We rhyme the word fathom with Jimmy Fallon, which kind of says it
Wow.
all. So like,
Poetry.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So like, as much as you know, we have a bit of fun in there as well. I think the themes that lie under it are more kind of like it's like loneliness and procrastination and stuff like that throughout the winter. So yeah.
Alright.
Understandable.
So what bands or artist influences do you think you can hear the most on this new record?
Ooh. Well, I guess the first basis would be to say, I don't know if you can make it out in the back of Brody's head, but both Remo Drive and Prince Daddy.
Oh yeah.
When
Devil and
we
Angel.
first went to record the drums, the producer sat us down and he was like, "So what bands do you guys like?" And we were like, "Well, we like Prince Daddy, like Remo Drive, all that sort of sound." And he's like, "Okay, we're gonna listen to those songs. I'm gonna do better than that." So like that's pretty much like the basis, I think, with the producer as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, we always go back to the sort of root inspirations of bands like Weezer and stuff as well.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like, it's hard to describe. I don't know if anyone else can do a better explanation than me.
Yeah, I feel like we all share similar influences, like Prince Daddy and Modern Baseball and like Joyce Manor and stuff like that. But we all do have different influences. Like I like some Beatles tracks, and Brody likes, like, you know, some bands that me and Callum don't necessarily like as much, and then Callum likes like hip hop and stuff, and he kind of brings in sort of the funk element of it a lot with this EP. Like some of the licks really shine through on this, I think. So
I think like yeah, it's like you said, like Cal's probably got the most diverse music taste out of all of us. But I think like it's so weird. I'll find him some days like listening to Phoebe Bridgers and then listening to like Turnstile and then listening to Denzel
Yeah.
Curry. So he just doesn't
Wow.
stop. Yeah.
Everything.
Switch,
Go listen
yeah.
to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, get that.
But I've got like different influences for like the actual songwriting and guitar stuff, sometimes to my vocals. Like I think I've taken a bit of inspiration from I really like this artist called Rosie Tucker, if either of you have heard of them, who sort of adds a bit more like character to their vocals, like little nuances and things. I've been trying to push my range a little bit more, listening to some of like especially Corey from Prince Daddy's definitely been sort of hitting that falsetto thing, and I've been doing falsetto on things for a while, because obviously I love Weezer and things, but it was cool hearing that being put into emo and punk and stuff, and people being like, "Yeah, this is cool." So I was like, maybe I'll push a bit of that in.
Yeah. Wonderful. So, what would you guys do differently on your next release that you didn't have the chance to do on this one?
Studio.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Saw that one coming.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully not be in lockdown and have the
That'd be
chance
nice.
to record all together again. Yeah.
So you guys
And for
prefer
me-
the studio thing over the quarantine, doing it yourself
Definitely.
bullshit?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
For real.
Yeah. All right. That's
mean-
fair. That's fair.
and I like having that element of pressure there, so I don't like mess about, but also not that much pressure where it's so much in like a short amount of time.
Mhm.
And also preferably next release would be an LP, but but I don't know about that.
Alright.
I think it's like with our first EP, the producer is a guy called Matt Heap, who I think we just had like a blast of him all week, and he really like took what we had and was like, well, maybe this doesn't need to be in there. Like this feels unnecessary, but this could be enhanced by doing that. And he really took on the role of producer rather than just record and engineer. And I think we'd love to have that because we sort of went with the guy who produced this new EP, Bob Cooper. He just recorded the drums and reamped the guitars and things that we tracked at home and mixed it. And although that was sort of a way around it, we went because we wanted to try a different producer, different sound and things like that. But we couldn't record everything with him. So it was like a bit of a hybrid of both. And I feel like we missed out because we were only there for the 2 days. We missed out on that element of being together in the room and just trying things and
there's a sort of there's a sort of extra like energy, I guess, that being together brings, and obviously not having that kind of made it feel a bit different. Like the first EP was so fun and like such a good time recording it, but this one was a lot more stressful and like it felt a lot more isolated because we obviously went together recording all of it. So hopefully in the next release we'll be together and we'll have that sort of energy and that fun again, I guess.
I think also as well as the production side of it, I think we're the if we do an LP next, I think it's probably going to be more of a mix of our first EP and second EP. So sort of like the more fun and upbeat stuff for the first one, with the kind of more mature sound of our second one. I just feel like because I'm writing songs at the moment that I feel like will hopefully eventually be on there, and they feel a little bit more because it's it's summer and I'm feeling different vibes, and we've also got some older songs that didn't make it on this EP and have been left over that might come together to make a bit of a variety in there. And obviously you've got more leeway with like 9 to 12 songs. So
Okay, so we're talking like a full-length album next.
maybe
Possibly.
All right.
Depends if
Alright.
anybody wants one.
So is there a certain feeling you want your listeners to have while listening to this E EP?
Sad. No. No.
All the emotions at once.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
There is
if
a bit of
it's-
variety, isn't there?
If it's like you were saying, Bird, about like a lot of the songs being more about being alone and I guess kept to yourself, I guess there's that sense of you want people to have security and like it's fine to take breaks by yourself and all. Like you don't always have to be an extroverted person. Like introversy, is that a word? I'm making it. a
It
word
is
now.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is now.
Exactly.
Introversy
Urban
is
Dictionary.
okay. Like it's fine. You don't have to always be outside and everything. Take time for yourself because everyone needs that sort of recharge themselves to get back to base and stuff. So yeah, just feel good about yourself. Everyone
Yeah.
needs that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also think that if it's if people are sort of feeling a bit down and a bit alone, like just listening to the sort of lyrics and stuff on some of the songs, like it sort of shows that you're not really alone because there's always people feeling the similar way. Like
Mhm.
Yeah, like just
um,
it's like we see ourselves as just normal ass people. But I think hearing that people who are making music that you might like are also in similar positions, and like Jack said, is like a relatability sort of thing. But it seems like counterintuitive, right? And being like, I want people to see the goodness in these songs about sad stuff, but I think the way it's been presented, it feels like people might listen to it and be like, okay, well, other people feel like this too, and it's okay. But yeah, I think Jack and Cal pretty much hit a nail on the head with that.
but also if you want to just listen because like you want to be in a good mood, I mean there's songs that can just sort of help you be in a
Yeah.
good mood, I guess. Like just because it's sad sort of lyrics, it doesn't mean the song itself sounds sad,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think probably the saddest song on the EP is like the most upbeat Probably. And you say shoulder might be. It's probably the saddest vibe, and it's like the most upbeat and sort of like, yo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's,
Alright.
that's how you describe it. Yo.
So, how did you guys choose the opener and closer for the album? Did you write them to be that way, or did they just kind of shuffle and fall that way?
I think it just happened, didn't it? Like straight away.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
felt
I
right.
think, I guess, in a sense, you just sort of feel the flow when
Yeah.
you have to like make the tracks, obviously. But you sort of have that natural feel when okay, so this sort of feels like a good opener for everything. It's nice and bouncy or whatever,
Mhm.
and then you just feel the ride, I guess, in a way, until they get to the very last one. And yeah, it's just sort of like the flow of how you feel between each track, and
Yeah.
it just sort of naturally fits.
I don't think you could listen to the last track on the EP and be like, and think it'd be anywhere but at the end.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
obviously, we've made it sound like it ends there, but even when I first wrote it and showed it to Jack, I was like, this is a closer song. And
Yeah.
I think with the opener, though, as much as it could have fit, probably anyway. Sorry if you hear my dog barking, he's going crazy.
Yeah.
He wants to be involved. But I think with Every Day, it's called Every Day Feels the Same. And I just want to preface, it was written way before the pandemic, although as relatable as it's become. That was sort of one where I think I came to the guys like, I think I've written a good opener song.
Mhm.
But like that probably could have fit. If it didn't have the intro that it had, if it just started after the intro, it probably could have fit anywhere on the EP, honestly. But yeah.
Okay.
So you guys hinted at this album that you have, or just other things in the works. What can you tell us about it?
We've got
Uh,
we're going to be recording some singles to release around Christmas time that we've been sort of sitting on for a while now. Like one that we've been playing quite a lot live. Like is kind of Christmassy sort of themed. Not really, but like it's
I mean,
about
it's about Batman Returns, which is a Christmas film, and I won't. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wait, which one is that? That's in the trilogy, right?
No, it's the second one. That like the second Tim Burton one. And,
Okay.
It's the one with Danny DeVito as the Penguin. So.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree. I agree. All right. So, where do you guys see the project in the next 5 years?
ooh.
that's a hard question to answer. It's
5
like
years
a job
older.
interview.
Yeah.
That's
I
what this
think-
What
is.
skills do you guys have? Weaknesses and strengths.
I mean, we've got hopes and dreams, like hopefully. It feels weird saying this, but hopefully we sort of get to bring it over to America and like play some gigs there. It'd be pretty epic if we
That'd be
could do
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
think, like, speaking realistically, probably doing like a decent headline tour in the UK, and then hopefully, like Jax is going into America. I think America is like where UK bands dream of. It's just
Wow.
funny because
Yeah.
it just seems it might be like I know a lot of American bands really want to come to the UK, but like it just seems like a completely different thing over there. Like I think kids in America will literally travel like 2-3 hours to go to like a basement show, but in the UK they're like, I got to get on the train for like 30 minutes, like, and I'll pass.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the
That's
epic
too much.
is so different. Yeah, it sucks, but
Yeah.
I do like
Okay.
the UK scene still. But what do you think, Cal? Bassman?
I mean, I'm just sort of excited to see where it goes as well. Like, hopefully, doing more shows and everything because I'm craving it after this whole pandemic. But I just think writing songs because as much as it comes to a stress of writing songs, it's just something new, something interesting to mess around with and play with during practice and playing the shows live and stuff. So yeah,
I think I
hopefully
wanna write-
writing more songs.
Yeah, and on that topic, I think it'd be cool to write like like an album or something that people put on their like album of the year list and stuff. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, good luck with all that, guys. Hopefully the world
Yeah.
opens back up soon and you can come to America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
For real. Yeah.
So for the last couple questions, we're going to shift away from music and go straight to death row. So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh,
Ooh.
We had all this wholesome shit going on. I'm like, okay, so today you guys are going to die.
Too much also death
who's
time.
supposed to go?
Well, for food, I mean, we've got this. I think it's in America as well. We have this shop called Aldi, and they have
Yes.
this really, really nice vegan pizza.
Oh
Um,
no.
Oh yeah.
That's like one of my favorite things ever currently. So
Okay.
that'd be
Spicy one.
the spicy cauliflower one. It's not spicy though. They say it's spicy, but it's not. So we'd have that, and we'd have a McDonald's Diet Coke because I don't know what they do to those drinks at McDonald's, but they're just always way better than what you get from the shops.
Okay.
I think they just water them down and
Probably.
we're just
Probably.
hydrating ourselves. We're forcing ourselves. I think personally, it'd be a mix. Can it be like anything from anywhere? Can we
Yeah.
mix and match?
Anything from anywhere.
Wow. So to start,
Dude, I
like,
chose Aldi.
yeah, it could be any restaurant or anything. When I went to Prague, I went in the Hard Rock Cafe there, and they had these like cauliflower wings with like blue cheese dip and this like cheese dust around it, and it was so good. It was so good. I mean, you had to kind of live with some consequences the next day, but if I'm dying that day, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
There you go. So that's a little life hack for you there.
Cauliflower wings if you're dying the next day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you know you're on death row,
Mhm.
I'd probably have them to start. I really like halloumi, like halloumi burgers and stuff. And there's this really good one, in this burger place in my town, the Lion's Den. Shout out, maybe that, or like one from this like nearby pub that we got, which is real good. Just a halloumi burger, we love it. Maybe like, part of me would want like just a real good like ice cream milkshake. I think I'd go with an ice cream milkshake. Yeah, probably that. Probably that.
Solid.
And for me, it's got to be an ice cold Diet Coke.
Sponsored.
Not sponsored. Yeah, sponsored. But as for food, like I'm like a human bin, so I eat anything.
That's fair.
I think it would probably I'm gonna regret saying this later, but it would probably be something like a bacon double cheeseburger or something like that. Just, it's
Right.
hard to think of food when you're not hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something like that, or like a chicken wrap or something. I don't really know.
You guys
KFC
are-
gravy.
You guys are definitely a Diet Coke kind of band. Waiting for that sponsorship to
Yeah.
come.
I'm a
Exactly.
Pepsi Max guy too, though, so I'll settle for a Pepsi sponsorship if needs be.
Okay, just
Alright.
one of
Yeah,
those.
exactly.
Yeah.
One of those, yeah. I guess you'll settle for a Pepsi if you want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I need to.
We're on Pepsi.
Exactly. All right. So, if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else go first.
It doesn't look like Jack wants
I-
to go first.
I really, my like favorite game is Elder Scrolls Oblivion,
Oh, yeah.
and yes, Oblivion Gang.
Mhm.
And I just think like being in like Cyrodiil and like being able to walk around and like travel to each town as well and experience that like first person, that'd be so cool. It'd be
That'd
like
be
the real like no nostalgia trip could ever like top that.
Mhm.
It'd be incredible. You'd have to have the soundtrack playing in the background as well. Just
Of course. Yeah.
just, you know,
It's a
that'd
must.
be cool. Exactly,
Yeah.
that'd be cool as hell, though.
I guess purely just because I'm wearing a T-shirt of it and I'm looking at a little figurine of it somewhere in the Dragon Ball universe. Just
Mhm.
too much variety. Too much variety.
Yeah. Somewhere
Yeah.
in there.
And there's bound to be some person there who's like over some sort of power level that you have to do some immense training to fight. So there's always a challenge. There's always an objective there. So
All right.
Mine's gonna be a bit of a mix. Like, I really love Batman, but I
Mhm.
think it would be a horrible place to live. So I'd either have to be like a hero fighting alongside Batman in Gotham, or like the little place in Spirited Away. I
Mhm.
think that would be a lovely place to go.
All right.
Just a cute little like village full of spirit food.
All right.
Yeah.
So we
Solid.
went from Batman to cutesy village.
Little, yeah.
A man of variety.
So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to has said the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Mm.
I mean, I think my ruined shirt kind of says it all, really. I can just answer.
Gray.
Just a nice, yeah.
Yeah. Jack's looking around his room like, what color do I like?
This is why you don't have
Be like-
wallpaper. Just paint your walls.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I was like, when I was a kid, I said pink, but I think that's just because I was trying to be like, look at me, I'm different. Because like boys were like, ooh,
Look at me, I'm
pink.
quirky.
Yeah. Maybe I think like green. I used to say green like for a long time, but recently I've been vibing with like orange and like a nice sort of
Ooh.
like pinkish red. Yeah. I
Yeah.
vibe with that. But yeah.
Solid.
But green's an OG. Green's like pretty sick.
Mhm.
I think I've got to go with like purple, which is perfect, really.
Yeah.
Prince Study hat.
Solid.
It's either purple or like gold. I really like the color gold, not so much actual gold, like, but like the color when it's on like a document or something, you know, like
Yeah.
sort of yellow, dark yellow, mustardy sort of.
Mhm.
Like your fancy mirror in the background as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's a mirror. It's not actually a painting, but
Oh.
in the mirror there's the John Wick 3 poster. Which
Oh.
is kind of cool.
Favorite colors: Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
I
That's the
actually
right
like to
answer.
think. I like to think that that's not even a mirror. Like it looks like from here, like it's just a frame to like a hole in your wall that just has like this little box in your wall with just like a John Wick poster. Little
Just sort of-
shrine.
Fell down and there's just a hole behind there.
Yeah, a little shrine to John.
Yeah.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Oh.
I mean, I guess band accounts: so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the Losing Score.
OG.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, but,
Uh,
Spotify because Apple Music's for posers. We're on Bandcamp.
Whoa!
Fuck Apple Music.
Let me guess which one you two use. No, we're on everything pretty much, apart from we're not on Google Play. Sorry, because then they put it on YouTube, and we like being in control of YouTube. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that. And follow our personals so you can see the random shit we tweet. I guess.
Alright.
All right.
So thank you for sitting down with us, guys. This has been The Losing Score, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.